wah. Ooh, wah. What are you, Fugazi? Ooh, wah. Wah. Nice. Nice. Well done.
That's Disturbed, right?
Yes.
Lord.
Or Fugazi. I don't know which one.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And if you can't tell, this is the second half of the podcast.
Thanks, Jeff, for overpouring.
I
Yeah.
had nothing to do with that.
I would
Well done.
I blame Paul because he's like jingling his
All right,
glass.
this is
No.
June
No, no.
14.
No, I
Students like
wasn't.
us, we finished the first half talking about how our kids are ungrateful about
Entitled.
they're entitled because we
Delirious.
sent them to college, and
They live like kings and
after
queens.
college,
And they're the future of this country.
they are. But you know, where
we're
were we after
and
college?
we're screwed.
We were struggling.
I
we
was
were trying
broke.
Yeah, we were all broke after college. I mean, it's nothing the way the kids have it now. They will be broke because, well, hopefully they won't. But you know, we'll see what happens.
They won't because you'll fund them.
And they're
Well,
the
we
perfect.
will.
Just
And they're
like I
the
will fund them.
they're the perfect byproduct of our design. Oops, we're at fault.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, we
Landmine.
had Jeff, one of the dudes like us, was talking about one of the first jobs he had was working at a place where there's tires. Because every time we go to the Costco, Jeff always chimes in. He's kind of like, "Oh God, just smelling those tires walking by there is."
He's like, I can't handle it. I
Makes
can't
me
handle it. Keep
nauseous.
walking.
I gotta-
Keep walking. I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, and I get that because there are sounds, there are smells that trigger our past that just make us. I mean, I get it.
Well, this is a smell. I worked in a tire warehouse, and it had 5 million tires in it. And
Wow.
I worked there.
A lot of tires.
That's a lot of tires.
Yeah, and just imagine, you walk by Costco. There's maybe 300 tires, maybe.
I've never really thought
You
about
walk
that.
in there, and
I've never
this,
counted.
This warehouse had millions of tires, and it was.
But
It
no,
was
let's
terrible.
put this in perspective. Do you think there's 300 tires in Costco?
No, there's got to be more than 300
I have no
tires.
idea. That
I don't
area
know.
right
I
there, I
mean-
bet there's probably 200-300 tires right
I've
there.
never gone into the tire section.
Yeah, it's
ever.
not as big as you
stinks.
think. Probably 2-3. Yeah, it smells.
It smells like rubber.
Yes, it smells like tire. And magnify that
Kind
by
of like when
1,000.
you late at night come home with your,
Uh-huh.
you know, this is.
I
Anyway.
know. I think I know where
Carry
you're
on,
going
Jeff.
with
Go
that.
on.
Anyway, I don't want to get back
Not
into
the same rubber.
I don't want to get
Yeah.
back into the whole tire warehouse story.
the point
But
where you fart and it smells like rubber.
No,
Yeah, all right, go on, Jeff.
what I want to, your farts smell like rubber.
mine don't.
Yeah, he does.
Mine
He-
just smells like
No,
teakwood.
no,
it
Paul.
smells like condom
Paul,
burnings.
Paul lubes up. His
Yeah,
farts
mine
don't
smell like
rubber.
dried fruit.
Just kind of
Yeah.
bubbles out like Sean's did
Cranberries,
downstairs.
cherries.
Mine-
Li-
mine's more like a-
lilac.
Mine's more like a stone fruit.
Teakwood.
No, maybe an egg.
Okay, can you move on?
Anyway,
Good
stone
Lord.
fruit. It's not a peach. Anyway,
You smell of tires every time you came home.
yeah. So anyway, I don't want to get back into that one, but I want to talk about some of the first jobs we had, whether through high school, through college, and maybe immediately after college, if we didn't get into our regular workload.
Like real job.
Real job that we're doing today, right? Because I know I've held quite a few that have been not real good, right? And the tire warehouse was one of them. And
Right.
I'll lead this off. The other one that I think of is I worked for the county fairgrounds the summer between I graduated high school and before I left college. So I was 18, and it was my job to prepare the county fairgrounds for the county fair.
Right.
And what that meant is painting buildings, painting
Oh, wow.
these big display barns. They're basically like big barns, is what they were.
Right.
It was my job, and this guy. So I went there, and it was me and some other guy, both 18, and he hired a bunch of homeless guys as well.
Oh, wow.
So it was me,
So he bundled you in with a bunch of homeless guys.
correct, and they'd come smelling of booze. And I'm not saying they weren't hard workers, but they were there to get money to go buy more booze. And
Did you drink booze with them?
no, I did not.
No,
Did not.
MD 2020.
No, I did not.
Did you want to?
No, I did not. And no, and these
Any of
guys
those
were
guys
nice.
hit on
They
you?
treated me fine and
He
everything
just
like
won't
that.
bite.
Offer
But
you
but
any heroin?
but I wasn't really exposed to that, right? These guys lived on the street, just alcoholics, hardcore,
I'll suck you real good.
right? And they're
I'll make some
there,
extra money.
and their life
So
was
it was eye-opening for you.
It was, and I was there, and we were painting these. We're up on these, 3-story scaffolding, painting this stuff. And
Good Lord. 3 stories?
yeah, 3 stories, and this,
That's
and,
like OSHA warranted.
and the alcoholic built the scaffolding.
Great.
home games.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, I was a painter at one time, and I know how to do all this stuff. So he built, and it was fine. We didn't fall or anything. But anyway, some of the stuff we had to do was we had to build the demolition derby track or whatever you want to call it,
Okay.
pit or whatever you want to call it, arena. And part of that was to line the arena with
Tires.
telephone poles.
No, I was being serious.
Telephone
Sorry.
with
poles.
telephone poles.
Oh, okay.
Are those the ones that have been soaked?
Soaked in creosote.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
there you go.
Lord.
So these things are soaked in creosote, and we had to cut some down. And I don't know if
Ah.
you've ever tried to use a chainsaw with a
Creosote.
creosote soaked.
Yeah, it doesn't work very
telephone.
well.
It does not.
No, in fact, that's like a horrible way
That'll
to cut
slip
it.
right off onto your leg.
Yeah, and I remember there were about 4 or 5 of us down there, and one guy had the chainsaw, and he's trying to cut this thing, and it was not happening very well, and it just took forever. And we finally got it cut down, and we had to lift the telephone poles. Some were full size, so we were having to carry these telephone poles, which are
Oh.
extremely heavy
My God.
because it's a log for one thing, but then it's soaked in all this creosote. So we're having to carry
And you're
this.
getting cancer on that
Oh, no
trip.
Yeah.
from
shit. How
point A to
many
point
how many
B.
years of your life was being sapped every moment you carried this thing?
Right, and that one of
'Cause
the
I
things.
think those things are also. And now we're going. I'm trying to think.
Well,
what
anyway,
chemicals in
they
them.
gave us gloves because they're like, yeah, the creosote's really bad for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
how
they're like, oh,
thoughtful.
you're wearing short sleeves, so it's all up on your arms. and
Oh,
all
it's
that.
in your
but,
face.
But you got
Yeah.
gloves. You
Yeah, I have
got
gloves, so it's not on my hands,
No
but it's
glove,
all
no
on my
love.
arms. Right.
Wow.
So we did that, and so that was a full afternoon, all day, 10 hours of just lifting logs and moving them around. And the other day was, or this is just another day, is we had to re-blacktop.
arsenic. That was the other chemical. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
you
It's
say
bad.
the
Yeah, I heard that's bad.
creosote, but arsenic's even worse.
Yeah, creosote's bad.
That's why he's twitchy.
'Cause
And that's
arsenic's
why my
like-
hair turned gray so young, is why. That's why I
I
think.
heard
There
it
we
shrinks your
go.
dick too.
Yeah.
That explains a lot of things.
Could
actually.
explain that as well. But the other one was and
Enlarges your butt.
This is one of those life lessons that I've tried to pass down to the kids. So we had to re-blacktop a section of road,
Ooh, the tar.
and it was the really thin tar. So
Was this in Ohio?
it was in Ohio.
Right.
Thank
So
God.
we had a big 55-gallon barrel of this stuff, and it wasn't blacktop. It was the really runny,
Sealer. It's a
Tar.
sealant. Yeah.
right, that we would place on top of it to kind of help fill in
Right.
the cracks. And it was all, when it was done, it would look great. It was black and it was smooth, but you could run it. We had squeegees,
Yeah.
and we were just running it out.
Oh,
Well,
my
I had
God.
shorts on that day.
Oh no.
And I learned when I got home that this stuff splatters, and you just can't pick tar out of your leg hairs.
No, it's still there. I can see it on your
You
leg
have
now.
to cut it out.
I thought that was a shit stain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
No,
been
so I
wondering,
had
what are those
these-
black dots all over your
So I
leg?
had all these little balls
I didn't
from
realize he was wearing a thong. That wasn't shorts.
Ah, no shit.
right. So I had all these little balls all over my legs, and it was these tar balls all over my leg hairs,
God,
And-
how horrible.
and it was
Yeah.
terrible. And I was trying to pull them out at first. I was like, "This is terrible." So I had my mom having to cut all these things out of my
You
legs.
shaved your legs.
No, I didn't shave, but she had to cut all these tar balls.
Did she cut them or shave?
No, she
Shaved your
cut
legs.
them out.
Don't you dare move to the ball, Sean.
No,
I'm
I was
just-
wearing shorts. The balls were protected.
Okay.
There
Was no tar on the
I mean,
taint.
between creases and folds, you know.
Right. No,
Is this
it was,
when transgender thoughts came into play?
no, I did not want to be a woman at that point.
Okay.
No,
Oh, so what point was it?
it was later.
he did kind of lead into that.
Right.
At that moment
point.
in life,
It's getting
I had
hairy.
not thought about it yet.
So we had to do that,
Well, he's
and
considering cutting off balls.
but it was labor, right? It was hard
Yes.
labor that we were doing, and we had to.
I bet it was hot.
it was during the summer,
Oh,
right? Because the fair was in
course.
August. So through June. So when I graduated in May, so June and July.
Did you? How heavy were you back then? Were you?
No,
How
I was
were you
under
fit?
200 pounds.
Under 200?
Yeah.
He was
All right.
ripped. He was chiseled.
Were you like? Were you? What was your daily diet? I mean, you're working at the fair, so to
Oh,
speak.
I couldn't
so
tell you. I
I
was
mean,
eating
were they
fair
like funnel cakes and corn
Corn dogs.
dogs?
Corn dogs for
during the
sure.
Stuff like-
fair. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was eating.
Yeah.
Right. But
No,
during
but
the
he was young and he was like
I was
he in
18.
shape,
It's not
totally in
slam.
shape.
Yeah.
I was 18, right? Now I was in shape,
Yeah.
and
was
now
ripped.
it would kill me. But
He was carrying around telephone poles for God's sakes.
yeah, and another thing
Double
is
fisted
you
corn
know,
dogs.
you hear about people being country
Ricky
strong.
Martin.
You hear about people being country strong, and I understand that because we had this huge truck showed up with probably 500 bales of hay,
Oh my God.
and it was my job to unload it with a couple other guys. So there's one guy up top who was flinging them off, and they had these cables wrapped around them. There's full bales of hay. I don't know how much they weigh, 40, 50 pounds a piece
Oh
at
my
least.
God.
And it was our job to take them off of this and then stack them. So we were carrying them and stacking them and throwing them up.
Good.
What a
And
nightmare.
And it was that's what I did all day. And at the end of the day, that was probably the worst I felt after doing that.
And this is all for a whopping $7 an hour?
Not even that.
No way.
Hello, do you know how the pyramids were built? Please.
Not even that.
Right.
Probably minimum wage.
Yeah, what'd they get paid?
Probably three and a quarter.
Not dying.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Right.
Breath.
Right. I
Air.
probably got $3.50 to $4 an hour.
That's
Doing that.
unbelievable.
By the way, I
Good
love
Lord.
how we still have like Rockefellers and people who made their fortune killing people for 0 cents and zero protection, zero OSHA
Oh yeah.
to make their fortune. Like they were in a specific time
Right.
in the period of lack of legislation where they could kill you to make a fortune.
Right.
And you're saying
Yeah.
their descendants are still living
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And these
Yeah.
are
total
the,
opulence.
and these are the revolutionaries of our time. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
You're no different than the pharaohs who killed people to build the pyramids. Great. Good for you.
Right.
Good for you. But by the way, enjoy your riches, but own it. Yeah, my dad was a modern day slave owner. That's okay. Own it.
Right.
Just keep your
So-
money, but own it.
What are the reparations on that?
None.
Yeah.
Because that's, by the way, so
That's almost trackable.
I love his story. We're not going to lose track of where we are with kids today. We're going to divert for a second to say that's when unions were a good thing because people were
Correct.
abused
There
and
was a
Well,
use
unions
for
are
it.
coming
tortured.
back.
No. Okay, so I disagree then because in a time they made sense. There was no OSHA. There was no thing. You climbed skyscrapers. You built
Yeah.
the Empire State Building. You died,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
got
there's-
nothing.
Now there are entities that are supposed to cover that kind
Right
of
now,
stuff.
there's fair play. I'm like, we don't need unions anymore.
Yeah,
no
but they
one-
are coming back.
But
That's
why?
what's
There's
interesting.
no
Where?
abuse.
Starbucks has battled with it.
Oh, they're
Amazon has battled with
trying.
it. I'm
They're
just saying. I'm saying
trying.
there seems to be a push for
How-
more
how-
unionization.
How do you lobby that when you make 15 to 20 an hour to move a box
I
from
don't
here
disagree.
to here?
I just know that I'm reading more and more about unions in the news.
Well, I think they're
Every day.
trying, right? Because you get
They're
these
trying.
huge conglomerates like Amazon.
Well, what's the benefit of having a union?
Well, back in the day, it
Protection.
was
The board
people.
gets rich.
Yeah.
Well, no, back in the day, it was my father died up on this thing. He can't provide anymore. You're not going to give us anything. They were like physically at threat of dying. An
So
Amazon.
that was the spirit of it.
An Amazon employee stands. I've been to their fulfillment centers. They stand. A robot brings something. They pick it up and they move it to there. You're not in harm.
Oh my God, that sounds
You're
awful.
in climate controlled. You have all these things. You're getting 15 or 20 an hour to do no mental thing. Sorry, but that is not today's deal. What you
Right.
are is you're saying Amazon's making ridiculous money turning me into a stool pigeon. I'm jealous, so I want to sue them. That's not appropriate. I think any union in 2022, you're going to have a hard case to tell me you need to exist. That's my platform.
I think the one Amazon worker that's listening to our podcast would be very disagreeable with what
But
your
I would
comment.
love for them to convince me, and if they do,
Right.
I'll go,
But-
I'm wrong.
What,
But,
right.
but
what
until
would
you
be
can.
their counterpoint? I
Right.
mean,
You know, Amazon
They owe
is
me
such
more
a,
money.
It's such a big
Why?
company. Well,
Because
it's
they're
such,
woke.
It's such a big company that there's probably a million different roles, right?
Okay.
And but I have heard consistently they push. Not necessarily the factory workers, the drivers.
They have serious
The-
metrics.
The drivers, yes, the drivers are held to these metrics. And and the reason why I know this is because when I watch the guys pull up, they run to the door, they run
Right.
to the truck, and they speed off. I'm like, dude, really? Are you being held to something that, or
yeah,
are
it's
they
to the
trying?
point where they're taking a shit in a can
Right,
in
or
the
Okay.
truck.
or
Okay.
are they trying to hit their own numbers to get like a big bonus? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
That's
okay
fine
with that
too.
being personally
Right.
motivated.
Yeah, but that also turns into driving recklessly.
Correct.
Sure. But I
So-
have heard stories where the drivers are like, "What the fuck? How-
listen,
how can we keep up with this?
You
This
don't
is crazy."
You don't think Amazon's legal counsel's analyzing
You would
all
think
of
so.
that and knowing those outcomes?
You would think so.
And if a guy or gal chooses one way or the other, they know it doesn't even make sense to cheat someone out of $2 an hour to get sued for $10 million.
Especially when they're making as much money as they
right, so
are.
they're not doing that.
Yeah,
Everyone's
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Look, if you're playing the long game, like in A to Z, Jeff Bezos does, he was schlepping books in 1991. He grew this thing. Everyone wants to hate him now. He grew a concept that was stupid. He's like, I'm going to sell books.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like, because it has the most inventory and people will like it. And Amazon with their smile from A to Z,
Right.
now they do everything.
Everything.
He was smart enough to do an amazing thing. Now we're all mad at him because he makes like $1 bazillion
Right.
in 1 second that we don't make. Fuck that. I hate people that hate democracy and capitalism,
Success.
that hate a guy that, oh, you're too successful
Right.
now. So
No.
suck it. Now,
Well,
look, they're
here-
paying $15, $18, $20 an hour. You have a job that is whatever stress level you want to choose for the aspirational bonus or not.
Right.
You pick it, you voluntarily accept it, you go, you do. By the way, at 501, you don't think about work.
Right.
How many of us at 501 are still thinking about work?
Oh yeah,
Right.
Bezos is still thinking about work.
A lot of people are, and
Sure.
that's, by the way, that's okay. Just I don't want the double standard of, I want the compensation of people who think about work at 501, but I don't want to think about work at 501.
So so I get what Bezos built. He built this amazing dynasty,
And
but
he
I
has
have one major
transformed
issue
our
with him.
world for the
He
better.
has, except have you seen the rocket he built?
It's shaped like a penis.
Looks
It
like a
looks
penis.
like the most grotesque penis I've ever seen.
But
Well,
he,
you know
he
what?
might
But that's
like
the
penis.
that's the most optimal design for penetration, and you have to penetrate through the atmosphere.
Through the
That's
methane
true.
layer.
We have cosmos
Yes.
and
the
biology.
vagina layer.
Right.
Yeah,
But it's true.
But Elon Musk didn't design his like that.
Well, that's because he
It doesn't
decided
look
not
like
to make
this
it like a shape
ridiculous
like a
phallic
penis.
symbol.
So what does his look like?
The vagina.
No,
It
that's
can't.
more like a parachute.
It can't. It cannot.
That's
It
coming
looked-
down in shape like a
It looked
vagina.
like a
Big
mildly,
V.
well, time out, a mildly inverted vagina.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. Well, why does it bother you that Jeff Bezos decided to build his like a penis? Why does that bother you?
I'm joking. I was making it.
Sidebar, does everyone remember about 6 years ago when Elon was almost broke?
Oh yeah, he went bankrupt once
went-
or twice.
Like
So
Tesla,
did Trump.
Tesla had the
So did a bunch
batteries,
of
and SpaceX was crashing, and no one cared about him, and now he's on top.
Right.
But no one remembers he did. Like, could any of you sleep at night the way he had to not sleep at night?
right.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Well, he doesn't sleep
Right.
a whole lot. Period. I mean,
Did you guys see
his
the
brain
video?
works on different levels.
I think one of you guys sent me this where he, a YouTuber, was interviewing him.
Oh, I
Yeah,
sent
you-
that to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, that
about
was,
the
That was
engines.
fascinating. If that
Right.
was real, it looked real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like he's talking about the engines and
Cold.
how they are
Cold
how they
fuel or
were
something?
needing some sort of apparatus for the transfer. And he's like, yeah, those are going to have those, and
Well, it was the booster.
arguably they need them on the other ones too. Now that he started thinking about it, and thank you. I think he said thank you.
He did.
Yes, he did. He absolutely did.
What's funny is the guy said something. He goes, "Well, that's just for the boosters. What about for the main rocket?" You could see Elon's going.
Yes. He literally starts to talk and he stops and he goes, "Well, that's a good point." It was amazing. It was an amazing moment. And then he concedes and says, "Thank you." And then he goes, "We're going to fix that." And then I guess they had a follow-up interview later,
Yeah,
like
like
months later.
Months later, that it worked. Whatever
Listen,
that idea was.
that's beautiful leadership. You don't have all the answers.
Right.
Listen, I do this with my employees. I say, here's my opinion.
Right.
Prove me I'm wrong.
Right. Blow
And then
holes
they
in
get
it.
to go. And then I go, fuck, that's way better. And we high five and we go do it.
Right.
Like,
right.
that's how you, it's not about you or you or you. It's about the collective advancing.
Right.
And to pivot back to Jeff, I think a lot of Jeff's stories are about working hard in uncomfortable situations.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I have a theory for this generation, which we all are all the same. We're raising kids in, and my theory is called the suffer index.
Okay.
And when we grew up, the suffer index was naturally occurring.
Right.
And what that meant was we grew up, whether our home was solid or broken, abusive, orphanage, or normal. When you couldn't afford something, there was a hit behind the back of your head that said, dumbass, we can't afford that. And the bad guy was this nameless, faceless thing called society, and we were a certain station in life, and we just didn't ask for those things. And we grew up,
Sure.
and then we worked hard manually, whatever, at a job, whether it was Dunkin' Donuts or building a house or doing what we did. Well, then we all advanced on the back of that tar in our legs and the shit we did.
Right.
And then our kids don't, because we aspire deep down, Jeff, we don't want our kids to do that. Deep down, in some ways, we hope they don't have to experience that.
I think I'm
Right.
different. I want my boys to experience
Well,
that.
now you do.
I do now.
But subconsciously, your intention was, I don't want you to. I want you to achieve the
You
same.
want something better for your kids, always.
Right. And so,
I want them maybe not necessarily do what I did, but I want them to go out and have the struggles that we did.
just replace that with,
At least
just replace that with suffer index. That's
Right.
my
at least,
coin
at
of the
least
phrase.
before their real job.
Correct.
But the suffer index
Right,
is an end result with the suffer index.
So the
And
suffer
that's-
index is needed, right?
Yeah.
Everyone needs to go do things that terrify them,
Sorry,
that,
Paul.
that hurt them, that
Really.
make them struggle and test their fortitude,
Right.
that make them go, man, I want to quit. And then they don't, right?
Right. Because what I don't want to happen, here's my mindset, is I don't want them to get to the point where they graduate college, then all of a sudden reality smacks them in the face. I want them to know what reality looks like now,
Well
like I
before.
did. Right.
Well
so
before.
when they graduate and they're like, well, how come I'm not just given a job making this much money and I can afford this apartment or this house or this car? That's
Yeah,
not
I'm
reality.
supposed to have all that stuff.
Right. Well, where's it all
Given
at?
all
I
that
used to have all this stuff. It's been given to me. I don't really understand where all that money's come from.
Right.
All this stuff.
Correct.
I want my boys to experience some of that up front. Maybe not to the extent that I did, but to experience it and at least understand it. So when they do graduate college, and maybe they're lucky. Maybe there's exceptions out there to the rule, but the majority of people graduate and it's a struggle. And I don't want them to
Be shocked by that.
That's where I want to help them to understand that.
Man, this
aspect.
is a great topic, and I couldn't agree more. The hard part is we have to manufacture that struggle as parents
Today we do.
because
yeah, we
it's,
kind of do.
it's not naturally occurring in the United States. It's especially not naturally occurring in the Frisco bubble.
Correct.
Listen, you
Correct.
grew up in Ohio.
Yeah.
I was born in Ohio. I grew up in Rochester, New York, but poor. Where we live is so not real. It's not a real representation of the United States of
not.
America in any shape. It is top 1%. If you want to put it to 3% because it's not Malibu or Manhattan,
Right.
it is ridiculous. And these kids don't know any different. They don't know. So here's the problem. Other book I want to write is my children's villain. The greatest villain in my child's life is me. When we were growing up, the villain was the man, society. We can't afford X. So it's this nameless, faceless villain that you don't get mad at. We
Right.
just say, hit him in the head. We can't afford that. That's not our place. My kids, your kids, all of your kids know we can buy them just about anything they want.
And we do.
No. So when you don't, so listen, Paul, when we don't,
I know.
Motorcycles.
their child
That's
logic.
my toy, not theirs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got confused.
But listen,
And I can afford it, so I do.
this makes sense. Their child logic goes, wait, you can buy me these things. You choose not to buy me those things. Why don't you love me?
Right.
Why are you loving me less? So we have a hurdle. That's the chasm we have to overcome from what Jeff just described, which it was naturally occurring when he grew up.
Right.
That is the bridge we have to get cross.
Yeah. But you know what? There are times when like we'll be driving down to Houston or something, and then we'll be going through construction, and it'll be 105 degrees during the summer, and then we'll see this poor construction crew melting on the freeway, and I will or my wife will be like, "Listen, that's a brutal job," and no disrespect to construction workers, man, total respect. But we say to our kids, "Do you want that kind of job?" I mean, sometimes you need to think about where you're going career wise, where you're going, like your college degree. Otherwise you may end up on a highway crew, right? Because a lot of those guys, I think, don't have college degrees, right? So sometimes and that's just an example, but sometimes, or we say, the assistant manager at at not a Chick-fil-A, but like a KFC, right? We try to tell them this is why education is important. This is why drive and ambition is important, because you need to think about where you want to end up. You have a family to support. You have a lifestyle you want to support. You have a certain amount of money you want to make. You need to plan for that. You need to think about that. Right?
What do they say to that?
Go. They just listen. They listen. They do. They just listen. So go ahead, Sean. What are you gonna say?
Well, I mean, education is important. The drive ambition is more important than the education, because there are a lot of successful people that don't require education to be successful.
I agree.
Elon Musk is, I don't know, is he a college graduate? I don't know if
he's
he is.
Not. That's a great question.
But what he does, but one of the things that he had shared is that there are a lot of great minds out there, and they don't require nurturing from the point of some sort of state school. They require nurturing from your parents. They require nurturing from within and self-worth. And without those elements.
Okay, so he has 2 bachelor's degrees.
Dropped out.
Well, no, hold on. 2 bachelor's degrees, but dropped out of his PhD program.
Right.
He was too busy building the...
Yeah, he's probably didn't want to waste time.
Just like
anymore.
Zuckerberg. He doesn't have a college degree. Nor does Bill Gates.
How about the Twitter guy?
What about Mark? What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Zuckerberg.
No.
No, the older...
No. The Mavericks owner.
Cuban.
Mark
Cuban.
Yes, he does. He that's where he launched broadcast.com before he sold it. Was in Indiana or Ohio.
It was in Indiana.
Yeah. But I will
Anyway, go.
I will totally agree with Sean that college means very
it's
little
overrated.
to your outcome.
I think it's overrated.
And one of the greatest marketing cons of our generation, it's probably a whole nother topic another day.
Yeah.
I think it's completely overrated.
Was universities saying you have to have it and
it's
increasing
life.
it? Yeah,
it's everything you touch with. It's the grooming from kindergarten to elementary, middle to high school. The next step is to college, and it would seem fair that was what you could do, but there needs to be more programs out there that groom, air conditioner folks.
That's trade school.
Yeah, at the high school
trades,
level.
totally.
Trade schools.
Absolutely.
Well, they did away with
not just
shop.
automobile. Yeah, they did away with shop. It's crazy. You need wood shop. You need auto. There's people that's strived going to the auto shop. What do they call that? The auto shop where they build cars every year.
Yeah, mechanic.
Tech class.
But all those classes are important, and I feel that the schools are doing an injustice for the kids. They really are. They don't even know how to fucking change a tire.
So I think...
Listen, they're focused on money at the undergrad level, and we all know it. It was the greatest marketing campaign for 20 years. It doesn't serve the trades. It's a little bit of a flaw.
Not the trades, but I will say there are certain industries, right? There's certain disciplines, right? Medical,
that require a degree.
Math, science.
Correct.
STEM.
There absolutely are certain disciplines, certain industries that you got to go the full distance, right?
Sure.
But there are a ton. Like, if you're just going there to get the most basic business degree possible, or if you don't even know why you're there, and maybe you should just go into trade. I mean, who's the guy, Dirty Jobs guy?
Oh yeah, he's great.
Mike Rowe.
He's
I
a
like Mike Rowe.
massive
Yeah.
proponent of trade school stuff.
Oh yeah, big
Like,
time.
and guys, think about trade school. It's electrical. It is plumbing. It's welding. It's HVAC.
Yes.
It goes on and on.
That's
and
a
on
good
and on.
living. That is a good living.
good
And
living.
you're your own
Good.
boss.
So
You're your own boss in a lot of those situations.
I actually did this economic lesson to my 17-year-old son. I said, so if we took the wealthiest people in the world and all their billions,
Right.
and they all gave 1 million, and the U.S., we gave 330 million Americans $1 million.
Right.
Like I said, do you think this is a good thing? And he's like, yeah. And I think that's terrible.
Terrible.
And he said, why? I said, because you're going to roll up the Chick-fil-A tomorrow and no one's working.
That's right.
And I said, unfortunately, everyone tune out who doesn't like reality on the listening cast. We need a pyramid of people who are going to work the miserable desperation jobs that don't want to do anything else. And because they don't believe in themselves or they don't think bigger than that. And they're like, just fulfilling 20 Chick-fil-A sandwich orders a day is
What was
my
it called?
mantra.
Oh,
if I give you
no. You said something earlier. The factor, the suffering
Success,
factor.
something-
suffer
suffering.
factor.
Yeah, that is the suffer factor.
Right, and so
you need people like that to
right.
go through the suffer
and
factor.
I mean, it's brutal.
And if you're gonna be passing out money, no
Right.
one's gonna be able to
right.
experience the suffer factor.
Well, I tell you what. Sean and I went to a new bar at the furniture place, and
without me, by the way.
That's dudes without you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dudes without you.
Yeah.
One of the bartenders could not figure out how to open the beer bottle
Mm.
with
no.
the thing. And Sean's like, "How old are you?" He's like, "I'm 28."
Oh no.
And I'm like, "You're not advancing past what you're doing right
No.
now."
Rest of your life. That's it.
Well,
And
what if he was a furniture salesperson that was told to go behind the bar and
No.
give this guy a beer?
No.
no, he
Really?
wasn't. That's what he was doing.
Because it's a bar inside a
His-
furniture store.
But like,
Yeah,
but a
His
caveman
aptitude
could
took
figure
a
out
dove.
leverage, right?
yeah. But the thing that threw him off, that he couldn't comprehend is there was foil around
Oh,
the cap. He's like, "I didn't know what to do with that." He's like,
Ouch.
I mean, he figured it out, but he struggled with it. I was just like, dude, you're 28.
That's why I take the bottle and just smash it on the side of the counter.
I even asked him. I was like, "Dude, how old are you?" He said 20. I was like, "Dude, you look so young." He's like, "Cause I'm half black."
He
By the
he
way,
say
by
I was
the
like,
way,
"What the
He
hell?"
said half black?
Yeah.
Yes, he
I
did.
would advise all of you
What?
instead of trying to go, dude, get better, go, thank you, because we need people. I hate to say
that's
that.
so mean.
No, it's not mean.
We need shitty people.
No, we need people whose perspective
need to
of
be
happy and
appreciative of the
sad
people
are
that
in a
they're at.
band, right? that
It's
they
not
go,
your job to coach the world.
right?
Okay.
That's
Listen,
a good point.
if everybody was a chief, there'd be no Indians, and that's not a bad statement either. Like the pyramid is a disastrous thing about society.
yes.
Listen,
I know what you mean.
Every ancient foundation of civilization has this, and it's okay. It's okay.
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay.
I'm laughing at the dialect of slurs that happen with that.
Right.
Sorry,
Right,
sorry, but yeah, it
That-
is
it's
true.
actually Irish.
Civilization.
It's like an Irish slur.
I should have sang that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, shut up.
It was fantastic. That's fine.
Crikey.
Crikey, that's Australian.
But
You son of a
oh,
bitch.
you crikeyed it. Wow.
I do that with I have a guy from England. I'm always like, crikey. He's like, that's not England.
No, it's
It's
not.
Australia.
Yes.
Hey, let's throw some more shit on you.
I mean, you're straight out of Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Like, where you from? Austria. Let's toss some shrimp on the barbie. Like, no. But as
Wow.
parents aspiring for their kids to find their place, I get what he's saying about suffering. Like, most kids just don't know how to
Yeah.
roll up their sleeves and suffer. So,
So hold on. So back up. All right. So let's talk about our kids' jobs.
okay.
Let's talk about our kids' jobs. Is there any suffering going on in any of our kids' jobs? Because so I have 3 boys. All 3 of them have jobs. Right. My 23-year-old's got a real job. He's working for a cybersecurity company. He's an inside sales guy, waiting to go to outside sales. He's killing it. And he is extremely ambitious. My middle one's home from college. He's working at a golf course, a golf club, like a plantation golf club. And he's out in the heat and he's scrubbing down golf carts. I mean, it's not awful. And he's driving around picking up all the balls and he's doing a bunch of shit. I mean, he's on the move constantly. It's not like he's in air conditioned all day long, and it's not bad. I mean, meaning not bad, meaning like it's not a crazy cush job. He comes home and he's butt ass beat.
Right.
He's
No, that's
beat.
good. That's
He's
good.
beat. He's working hard. And then my youngest is 17. He works for a nonprofit company that people donate furniture and stuff. It's like a resale place.
Right.
And then he's in a truck all day long.
Frisco resale?
Briscoe
I
Resale.
love that place.
Yeah, he's in a truck all day long, and what he does is unload the stuff and load the stuff.
Dude, I volunteered there for the last 6 months.
Yeah, he's making
Volunteered?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Does it not get paid?
Yes.
Good Lord.
Because my
it's a community service thing.
well, my mother-in-law who passed
Did you
away.
get a ticket?
No,
Oh.
my mother-in-law who passed away. Her worry was people who are hungry, and Frisco
Nice.
Resale feeds the Frisco market,
Yes, they
Right.
do.
Correct.
and
Yes, they
so
do.
she doesn't like people hungry. So that's my way to honor her.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So anyway,
he does that. He drives that. That's nice.
right. So my point is, these are not. I mean, they're working.
They are.
They're working pretty hard. These are.
Yeah.
And what about yours? What? So
Well, mine just started. I've been giving him a hard time because it's taken him too long to get a summer job. And I told him, I was like, "You're not sitting on your ass this summer." So he finally got his job and he's working it, and it's not easy. He's working in the kitchen, cutting at big catering facility here, preparing food, slicing tomatoes, peeling carrots. He
well,
goes,
good for
"Dad."
him.
He
Does
goes,
he
"Dad."
have a culinary aspiration at all, or
No,
no?
not at all. You know, this
He's
is
just grinding.
he's getting paid $14-15 an hour.
Oh, that's nice.
And
though.
you know, he's like, "Dad, I probably peeled 100 carrots today, and I diced 100 chicken breasts
and
and
guess what? It's
tomatoes."
Hot. It's hot and it's moving, and
Yeah.
people are needing things right now. I mean, it's not like that's not cush either to me.
No, so he's doing that. So I'm very proud of that. And prior to that, he was taking money at a parking lot for parking, which
He's
was
running,
just
valeting. He was
which
working.
which was wow. He was just standing there taking money. And
Well, they have a commitment to make sure that the cars aren't being broken into, too. So they have
Right.
to be
So-
vigilant.
right, so
So there's a risk with that.
So, you know, prior to that, you know, and my older son, his first job was as a waiter, and that's not easy.
Mm-mm. That's a very respectable transitional job.
Yeah, and so he's been a waiter for maybe 4 years. As soon as he, I don't know, I guess as soon as he graduated high school, he got into it because, he wanted money, right? Because he kept asking me for money. "Dad, I want to do this. I want to do that." "Well, you need to get a job
Right.
to be able to afford that." So he got a job, and he spends his money how he wants.
Exactly.
And he's continued that. He found the same restaurant out where he's going to school in Texas Tech, and he's been doing it for the last couple of years. Does well for himself, and
Well, I'm not
See-
saying that your son is content being satisfactory with that, because I know he's going to school. I know he's planning on going to Parker. But there are some folks out there in the food and beverage business that are content with that lifestyle.
That's
Correct.
okay.
You know,
Right.
and that
that's
is
okay.
And-
100%.
And when I say they're content being satisfactory, that's not a slam. It is sort of like Randy's making the comment saying, you need chiefs and you need Indians. And these folks that are content being satisfactory in life say, "Hey, man, look, I'm going to work hard, but I'm not going to be an overachiever. Suck
Right.
it. You know, I'm gonna take my fruit and go
But
home
you know what?
and
There's
eat."
a lot that goes into that, guys. It's about the balance of life, work and life. It's stress, and some people make their own decisions about. You know what? I don't want that high stress job. I'm gonna balance life and family and this mediocre
is
job,
a-
and I'm gonna adjust my lifestyle to match what I
But
make.
there is an
right?
upper
That's
level
okay.
to
That's-
the food and beverage industry. I mean, so the cap isn't stuck at Don Julio's where you're serving fajitas all day.
Fajitas.
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 There are some wonderful restaurants out there that some of these
Good big
these
bang.
bartenders, and I mean, they'll make $100,000 a year.
Oh yeah,
It's disgusting.
they're banking.
And I say that because I'm a little envious. I'm like, well, shit, I'd fucking wait tables for $100,000 a year,
Oh, bartend.
or bartend. I don't give a
Okay,
shit.
it's a
Less-
lifestyle,
less
though.
running.
I mean, didn't
a
you
lifestyle.
do some El Paso? Sean Cruz.
Well, I mean, that was way back. Come see Sean Cruz live at Tejas nightclub.
Oh, where you're flipping bottles and shit. You were.
That was back when the Tom Cruise movie came out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's Sean Cruz.
Tejas nightclub. God bless.
What movie was that? Cocktail.
Cocktails. Yeah.
I was thinking Cocoon, but that was
So
the old
I was like
movie.
the
With
only
Elizabeth
white guy.
Shue?
It was me and
Was
my
Elizabeth
roommate.
Shue in
He and I
there?
were
She
the
was in
only
there,
white guy in the whole bar.
Oh.
And the bar owner was like, "Hey man."
Oh,
Hey,
boy.
man.
Here we
He
go.
didn't say it like that. No, he didn't say. His name was Arturo Diaz. Art Diaz. Arturo. He had some fucking long name, but Art Diaz was his name. Well respected guy, family guy, owns a bar, whatever. And he hired me to go in
Strip
there and
joint,
bar
wasn't
back.
it?
So I was there for like a day bar backing, and then the very next day I was bartending because all the women were hitting on me. and I'm in a Tejano nightclub.
They just
And he's a
couldn't
businessman, and
help
he saw.
themselves.
Let
I'm
me
in
put him
El
in.
Paso,
they
and
couldn't help
I'm
themselves.
6 foot, and there's like nobody. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, how anyone that is okay. So
You show your six pack wearing your little bikini brief.
I'm just saying.
So hold on.
I'm a normal person.
You're
but
6 foot?
somehow, yes,
Are you sure?
Behind the
I'm
bar,
absolutely
yes.
positive.
Okay, keep going.
I think he's
It
questioning.
was odd.
Wow.
Wow.
I think it's like
I'm 6 foot and chiseled.
Well, I didn't say that part.
Well, I mean, okay.
But back then, I was. And you know what? Back then, I maybe 5'11" and a half or
Okay,
something. I
I
don't
was
know.
just
But
curious.
my point is that I was in the lower valley of El Paso, Texas, right on the border, and the women were like just flock. I mean, I was a pretty boy back then. You know, and I'm
Sean
the only
Cruz.
fucking white guy. Come see Sean Cruz. They fucking put it on a billboard
That's
sign.
crazy.
They had 95, Cape Bueno radio station out there. And I just
Que
remember.
Bueno.
Que
Yeah,
bueno.
you remember Selena Ilos Dinos or Selena?
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Okay, back then she was. She had a band. It was a family band. You saw the movie, Selena y los Dinos. But Selena was she became a bigger star and all
Huge
that horrible
star.
stuff.
Huge.
But back then,
She
man,
was shot.
By her,
yeah,
what,
by
by her,
her
biggest
manager.
fan.
Her
Yeah.
manager. Yeah.
What
Thanks,
the,
Jeff.
What the hell?
Well, she was. I saw the movie.
Yeah.
But you were still hot, so that was good.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, my point is I'm working hard behind the bar. You
Right.
know, the Tejas. Where the hell was I going with that whole thing?
I don't know.
I'm gonna wrap this up for you. I'll rescue. So, does anyone have?
Rescue.
Has anyone ever?
God, if we had $1 for every time Sean had to be
Oh,
rescued
okay.
on podcast.
So, has anyone ever seen the Count of Monte Cristo movie?
No.
Yes.
I eat the sandwich
Amazing.
at Bennigan's.
Yes.
Fuck, you got to see it. Yes, no,
No.
I
yes,
saw it had Jim Caviezel in it.
yes. Okay, so
Is Elizabeth Shue in it?
Hold on.
Shit.
Bombay.
Bicycle Club.
What is that? Bombay. There's a Bombay restaurant around here.
no.
Yeah, there's a
Bombalero, no.
I just ate
Papa
dinner
Si-
there this past week.
Papacitos?
Bombay. It was bomb something.
Bomb
Boomer
something.
Jacks.
A Boomer Jacks.
Oh, that was
that's
close.
way off.
Boomer Jacks.
What are you? What are you, Samsonite?
that's
Dumb
where-
and Dumber?
that is where you
Swanson?
ended up.
Samsonite?
Boomer Jacks
He
has
ended
that
up on
Bennigan's
Boomer
that
Jacks.
has the Bennigan's sandwich that you just mentioned.
The Monte Cristo.
Oh
yeah.
my God!
Oh,
They have the
wow.
authentic sandwich.
It's like
one of my favorite
1,800
ones.
calories. Yes.
So, Randy,
Yeah,
can
with
you
the
rescue him
raspberry sauce.
again?
I can. Here we go.
Here
So,
we go,
It's a
yeah.
deep
So-
fried
Second
sandwich.
rescue.
so probably the best line in the
It's really
whole
1800?
Count of Monte Cristo movie is Fernand is a poor clerk, and his rich friend rats him out to be taken by the French police. And in his vulnerability, he says, "Why did you betray me?" He says, "Because you're the son of a clerk, and I don't want to be you." So a rich guy wants to be a poor guy. So the whole point is, if you make $55,000 a year, which is the median income of the United States, and you're deliriously happy, there are probably some doctors who want to be you. Is the point?
Yeah.
The finance is not the secret ingredient.
Happiness.
Right. One of my best friends.
It's the balance.
One of my best friends at 16, we were playing games where I beat him every time, and I go, "You are the champion of mediocrity." He really is. He is the middle of that Gaussian bell curve. He doesn't want to be better. He doesn't want to be worse. And he never worries. He's never stressed.
super
and
happy.
He's so happy. And he has got a wife, and he's got a family, and their family makes $55,000 a year, and they are living the blissful life. And there are doctors out there who want to get him arrested saying, I hate that I want to be you.
Right.
Right. So the point
So
is,
that's what the movie is.
right.
about.
So
That's
back
interesting.
to 8 million people, there's no recipe. None of us sitting here have the same recipe. That's the point.
100%.
So find your thing. We talk about pyramid schemes and they're impoverished. No, if they're happy, there are people at that band happier than the people at the top of the pyramid.
guys,
right?
There are people living in the mountains of Colombia that make $2 a month.
And they're the happiest
They
people.
are they're way happier than we are. They have the most amazing family.
Right.
They have the most amazing. They love. They're massive Christians or whatever religion they are. They're super
right.
happy spiritually.
I'm gonna do a hard 90.
Well, hold on a
I'm
second.
just saying.
Hold on a second.
That's real.
I want to bring this to a story that is relevant today.
Go.
I don't think money equates to happiness.
No.
Because in evidence,
Good pivot.
I want to display Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Go.
They seem like
Austin.
a horrible, horrible people.
Yeah.
Right.
They are extremely unhappy.
Yep.
One crapped in one's bed. One's a drunk. One's a
Hypothetically.
druggie.
It could have been a dog.
I think it was
Some
Amber
sort of
Heard.
erectile
Anyway,
dysfunction.
They are miserable millionaires,
Yes.
in my
Great
opinion.
point. Great point.
So money does not equate happiness. And you think these movie stars are happy and everything. Their life, Johnny Depp's have been miserable for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Because he was in an unhealthy, dysfunctional relationship.
That, and he was blackballed,
Yes, he was.
completely blackballed.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. No, we already know this. Money does not give you happiness.
But everyone
Fame.
thinks,
Fame does not give you happiness.
but people think it is.
It-
No,
absolutely.
so
They always want what they don't have.
So Malcolm Gladwell actually did a study that said he had on the x-axis money you make.
So,
Yeah,
I'm
and-
sorry. Who is Malcolm Gladwell?
Oh my God! So outliers, 10,000 hours to be a master at anything you want
We've
to
talked
do.
about that. If you do
Yeah.
10,000 hours in anything, you become
Whether
a
you're
master.
an athlete or
yeah.
a violinist, whatever. But he has
Okay.
he has another book that says happiness on the x-axis, money made on the y-axis.
Okay.
It's literally like the St. Louis Arch. It goes up, plateaus, and goes straight down.
All right.
And it's
The more
called.
money you make, how miserable you
And
are.
do you know
so
what
that's
that?
a very simple graph.
Okay, so-
Describe the graph.
So quiz for you guys: what is the top number for a household where it peaks and then plummets?
Money wise.
Yeah,
As far as money,
for your family.
I would say 100 grand, 70,
Okay.
75 to 100.
So hold on. What is the peak number and then it plummets? So what does
And
that
then
mean?
plummets means the happiness
Oh,
peaks
happiness.
and then plummets back down on the same U graph.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
household combined
Yep.
combined household income, full happiness, $65,000.
Okay. You said 75 to 100.
75 to 100.
Well, he's got it right
Combined.
there, so 75,000.
It's $75,000.
Oh, well.
That's it, guys. And Frisco Bubble.
Oh,
is-
way more than that.
Right. So the point is, you think about our friends who live other humble means and they're happier.
Right.
That's the point. Is there's a cap on money. So if you think about this theory, and I love this from a guy I met 20 years ago. It's one of my
He's showing the stress. part.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite quotes. Money and power make you more of what you are. So when you're poor and you have no power, if you're a great person,
Right.
that will be amplified. If when you're poor with no money and power, you're an asshole, that will be amplified.
Right.
And you're either a jerk or, someone who helps and enables. And so the whole point is everyone gets worried. The average median income in America is 55.
Right.
You're already there. Like, don't worry is
Right.
the point. So everyone in Dublin or Brussels accounting for inflation, but with our uptick, you're good.
Yeah,
You're
but
like,
it's still
just
not
keep going.
enough.
I think it boils down to expectations, right? So if you and your wife work a job or two or three, and you're taking care of your kids, and you're putting food on the table, and you're happy, meaning you're doing some of the things that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's enough. It's enough. That's the key. If it's enough, and sometimes, and a lot of these things are out in rural areas, right? Where they have a little bit of land and it's peaceful, and they're and they got their church, they got their church family, they got their neighbor family, and expectations of life are not that exorbitant, right? They don't have the big city expectations, the big car, expensive this, expensive that, all these gaming systems. I mean, they don't have all those expectations, and guess what? They're totally happy.
Yeah.
Totally happy with what they have. And to me, it seems like it's a rural thing.
Well,
I don't know if it's rural. I think
I do think it is.
I think the rural is closer to the epicenter of what you need to be. I think the wealthier we are, the farther, so the suffer index has to calibrate. So most rich people,
But I think there's a huge difference between urban and rural.
right? So most urban wealthy people buy land rural to go relax to be happy. It's
Right.
it's like a weird thing.
Right.
And so that's the point so the point I think tie it back to Jeff is the messaging to our kids of whoever you want to be is great.
Yeah, man or woman.
Randy, there's
Like-
a microphone.
Like there's no recipe that's right for any of us.
Right.
It's okay. There's some expectation. There's not really. Like live and figure it out. What do you think? I don't know.
Well, I want my kids to be happy.
Okay.
What's
What's that look like?
Well, it's up to them, right? I don't know what makes them happy, right?
It looks like a 45-foot boat.
right.
But part of it is default. You want them to not suffer the way you just described.
Well, correct. I don't want them to
But that actually starves them from the self-realization that made you strong and
Actually,
who you are.
Jeff wants his kids to suffer more than I would.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll kick Preston in the face.
No, and I don't mean this in a bad way.
sorry.
He wants
No, it's
he
okay.
wants his kids to learn. I mean from all the extras, that you give them while they're in college. Me, I don't care. But at the same time, I appreciate what Jeff's doing.
Well, Jeff's into child abuse. So, I mean, he
So you
just
call
wants
it
to
child
no,
abuse?
no,
Yeah,
no,
he
no,
wants
no,
to
it's not.
mentally torment his children.
No, I don't believe I do that.
Now I can't think of anything like that.
Suffer index. What we're talking
It's a
about.
suffering.
I don't.
I
there-
tell them to eat ramen and drink Old Milwaukee's best.
Or
Beer.
old,
There you go.
old crow.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go. We'll go
Anyways,
with
look,
that.
I wanted to do a hard 90. And this is kind of a dudes like us thing because it just slapped me in the face. I received a message from one of my kids, and they're like, "Dad," because at my house, I've got a lot of people.
Yeah, you have a full house.
I have a full
Yeah.
house right now.
I'm an empty nester.
Laundry.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning
Yeah,
that, Jeff.
I'm not.
I've
I'm
got
not right now.
But
'cause
he
you
has
know.
all 4 kids home.
plus one.
Plus.
And plus 1 plus 2 plus 3.
You
I'm
have
just-
you have
Who are you
7
teasing?
kids.
Who are you
Whatever.
teasing?
All right, so there's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
So I just got a message saying, "Hey, Dad, the dryer's broke," and I'm like,
Oh, shit.
It's not turning or heating, and I'm like, well, is it not turning or heating? So if it's not turning, it's probably just not going to heat because it's not turning. But whatever. So at that point, do you take the time to fix it? I mean, because I've already fixed that dryer once,
Yes.
or do you just?
Yes. What are you saying? Buy a new one?
Depends how old it is.
I don't have the time to fix it.
It's like an old
Yes, you
car.
do.
How much money do you want to dump into an old car before like, yeah, I can just get a new one and not deal with
Okay.
it?
It's 10 years
That's
old.
a fallacy.
It's 10 years old.
It's not.
Everything can be fixed. You know
Yeah.
how many times I've replaced the heating element on my dryer and it works for another 10 years?
Yeah, but you were going to drop your Volkswagen for a new truck
And guess what I
That's
did?
right.
because
You
you
bought a
got
motorcycle.
small balls and you got a motorcycle instead.
No. I went on fucking YouTube because they were going to charge me $3,400.
All right, all right,
Which-
all right.
Time out.
The
By the way,
spirit of
by
what
the
I'm
way,
talking about is do you take the time? What if you don't have the time?
Time is money.
So I mean, do I just delegate this to one of my kids?
is money.
Yes, tell your
fearful
kids just go. You
Yes.
fix it.
unfortunately,
yes,
I don't
video
trust any
games
of those
is
fuckers.
money.
Actually, because you're fucked either way, turn it into an exercise for your kids, like Jeff said, and let them do the ROI analysis of fixing it for 150 or replacing it for 400, and let them make them do the math.
400. When was the last time
Whatever.
you bought a dryer?
Like Reagan was in office.
They're
Right.
700.
Right. So make them go through and make them do some work.
Whoa.
So, Sean, I'm going to completely disagree with you on this one.
Look,
Hold on. How many times have we
no,
talked
no.
about being
Look,
able to fix
I-
anything?
I agree with you.
we have a
in-
dog barking. We
you
got
were-
chaos happening right
I
now.
agree with you at a certain point, but it's at this point right now. I'm kind of like, let's just buy a new one. I mean, because I've already fixed it twice. Like you said, I've already replaced the heating element on it twice.
Right.
I want to be
You know
done
what?
with it.
Then I did the same thing. I bought a new dryer. I did.
Oh,
Oh, you were giving them shit 2 seconds
Well,
ago.
hold
Wow.
on.
Wow.
Oh,
Hold
God.
on.
Wow.
He just said he replaced the heating element.
You can replace anything
Now it's
multiple
acceptable.
times.
Yes.
Infinitum is what I heard from your voice.
Infant.
Yes.
It's
Is that
Vagina.
Latin?
it's
Vagina.
it's
In
Latin.
vagina.
Ad infinitum. Yes.
In vagina?
Vagina.
Ad
What
in
did you say?
vagina.
That's
That's-
not Latin.
Areola.
That's how the
Vagina.
Latins made
Add in your
sex.
vagina.
Yeah.
Elephant vagina is what you said. No, you said
Right.
vag.
Scrotum.
That was
Elephant
close.
vag.
It was close. yes.
Areola vagina.
Anyway, so yes, I'm not
Elephant
going to judge
scrotum.
you, but I'm just saying everything can be repaired to a certain degree. Yes, I get
Look,
it.
I get it, but I don't have. Look, here's the thing. I gotta weigh in. How long is it gonna take me to fix? All right, because I don't trust the kids. Yeah, can they do it? Maybe, but
I
they gotta
wouldn't.
take the thing apart. But seriously, are they really gonna
Yeah,
fix
I'm
it?
not there yet.
How will-
Randy,
how
you
will
were
they-
saying,
how will they
make your
learn?
kids learn and fix. I'm not there yet. I fix everything. The kids are like,
Well,
What-
how are they going to learn that? How did you learn?
how did I
when you-
learn?
when you had your first house?
You know how they learn? I'll tell you how they fucking learn. When they're sitting at home and their dryer breaks and they're looking at their bank account and they're like, I have $300.
Bingo.
I can eat. I could pay for this. I could pay for that. And all of a sudden they're gonna be like, well, maybe I could fix it.
Right. That's
Because
what I
I
asked.
don't have the money to freaking
Yep.
replace
That's
it.
what I asked.
Yep.
Because I didn't learn how to fix anything until I owned my own house.
That's it. That's how
Right?
when
So-
I did mine too.
So I think that's probably when you start diving into that.
Well, so part of it, I feel like Jeff is saying is he didn't have a safety net. Neither did I.
No.
Like, it's like there was no plan B, right? We're talking about kids who have a plan B option, which is, can I sweet talk mom or dad to fix the dryer or the washer or whatever it is? And so,
I don't care. I'll go buy new underwear and new socks until it's fixed.
Great for you, and that doesn't help teach the lessons
no, but
we're trying to teach.
everybody's different. I had a safety net, right? I had
Good for you.
Well, yeah. So
Ooh.
I had a brother who's a mechanical engineer, and if I couldn't figure it out myself, I would call him, right? I mean, but for the most part, I figured out YouTube. I just figured out YouTube.
So you didn't do
well,
anything until
it-
the last
Well,
8 years?
I mean, I would absolutely fix this. In fact, when I go home, I'll take a look at it and see what's going on.
maybe it's unplugged.
You know what? Maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe the fuse popped.
Yeah, you have a.
But the spirit of what I'm getting at is that we are there's dudes like us out there that we face these things.
yes.
And it's just like you got to weigh in. You're like, well, when does it come to the point where you keep fixing this Volkswagen,
Yes.
or do you take the damn thing and drop it off and say la vie?
Okay, so I have a
Hasta
theory.
la
100%,
vista.
100% agree with that.
I have a
I do.
theory on this evolution. All right, and I'm going to give a tactile representation of my pathetic view, and we'll move forward. So, Steven helped me. We bought like 7.75 of a ton of rock. We shipped it to the house
Okay.
in like August, and we bucketed it in 5-gallon buckets.
I remember that.
It was in his truck. He
I
said,
heard this.
Wow,
story.
this is legendary. Apparently,
this-
Yeah.
He whined about it
No,
for
it,
like
was,
a
it was
month.
child
Right.
abuse, actually.
Yeah.
right.
he's
So
like, fucking Randy.
Yeah,
So-
CPS was
listen,
called.
we shoveled this shit from his truck into these back buckets, and
You
we're
know, for $50, you could have rented a device.
no.
to do that.
Listen. We
backhoe.
we walked it 80 yards to the destination.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, 2 buckets each time. And about halfway through, this fit young high school guy is pussing on me, and I'm like, I'm gonna destroy you. Like, suck the fuck up.
But then you had $8,000 surgery right after that.
No,
Didn't you?
fuck no. Because no. And I'm like, okay, you take a break, I'll go. And then we started doing 2 for 1 and whatever.
Well, he even said, he goes, I couldn't let Randy beat me.
Yeah, he tried. He tried.
There we go.
He tried,
I'm
but
not
he
letting-
lost.
I'm not letting old
Oh,
man
yeah.
beat me.
I mean, I'm like
I'd never heard
20
that
years
part.
older, and he's like, yeah, he tried, and it's fine. But it's like they just don't suffer the way we did, and that's
Right.
fine, and
Right,
that's
right,
fine.
right.
I
got
really,
you.
I'm not shitting on him. He just doesn't know. But listen, look, all of us were born in the 60s, 70s. We didn't suffer as much as the guys born in the 50s or the
No.
40s.
How
Born
about
in-
Great Depression?
Listen, born in war,
Like my
right?
dad.
Born in war.
My
Right.
dad was born
30s,
during the Great
20s.
Depression.
Listen, here's an evolution I love to get people mad about because everyone sues everyone in school, right? In the 20s and 30s, you were expected to get in fights in
Right.
school. Like,
Yeah, solve your problem.
Win.
Solve
Don't win.
solve
Don't
your
win. Right.
problem.
Then 30s, 40s, 50s. we're still fighting.
Oh yeah, my dad got into school
60s
fights.
a little bit, 70s a little, 80s we turn into pussies. 90s it's got to be legislated. We're gonna sue because of bias. 90s like we've become what we are. That's fine. I'm not trying to comment on all of that,
Right,
but
I got that.
it is what it is, right or wrong. But that's what he's talking about. Is like kids don't know how to grind. They don't. By the way, there's an app called Grinder, which we don't want to do, or Sean does.
Sean has that app.
Yeah.
He actually
No,
tried
no.
Like,
to refer us.
We just
He has
don't
a
know.
profile.
The suffer index is not
he
high.
could have gotten some sort of discount if he referred us.
What is
100.
Grindr?
100 people
is weird.
Is that a
discount.
sexual thing?
He made it.
Yes.
Oh, you're such an
Well
idiot.
done. Well
Shut
done,
up.
Sean. Well done.
What?
But it's like our kids
Nice.
don't know how to suffer.
No, they
Right.
don't.
They
No,
don't know the
Right.
grit.
Right.
Like our kids are getting picky about their jobs, right?
Oh my God, that's an LGBTQ.
Oh.
Oh, look at the, oh my God, I'm shocked. That's not a funny joke, guys.
That was the
No, I mean,
worst.
I don't care, but I didn't know.
You
that.
don't know what Grinder is?
Dude, why the fuck would I know what
'Cause you
Grindr
have it
is?
on
Because
your
everyone
phone.
knows who Grinder is.
Well, I don't. It's the first time. I wouldn't.
I'm gonna say a
No.
tu brute thou
You're so full
dost
of shit.
protest too much.
He's
yeah,
so
he's a fake.
full
yeah.
of shit
No.
right now.
He has 3 profiles.
Yeah.
Sean A, B, and C. Yeah.
No.
So earlier, Randy, you were talking about
Right.
you're expected to fight.
It says
let me tell you
Grindr gay chat.
Let me tell you a funny
Get the
story
fuck
about what
outta
my
here.
father
Why
told
would I
me.
know that?
Okay.
So hold on, I'm going to tell a funny story. My father was in high school, and he has 4 older sisters, and he's the youngest boy.
Ouch.
Right. And so he was picked on by the biggest bully in school, and
Did his
and-
sister whip his ass?
Well, no. So they got into it, and my dad punched him in the face, right? And totally like bloodied him and like shocked the kid. And they both got in trouble for fighting. And while they were it was almost like Breakfast Club, you know, they were like in incarceration in school. And the bully says to him, "If you and I join forces, we can run this school." He was so impressed with my father for punching me in the mouth that he was like, "Join me."
Yeah, what the hell?
Like what is that? Star
What
Wars?
kind of school?
Yoda. Yeah.
Join me, and we
Right.
can rule the galaxy.
The
That's
Emperor.
exactly
That's the Emperor.
that is exactly what
Yeah,
that
but
guy.
I don't get the end game on that. That's crazy. But I understand.
But that's what my father
That's what
talks
bullies
about.
do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was so impressed with how tough my dad was for punching the bully in the face that he was like, "If we join forces, we can run this whole school."
So Judd Nelson wanted Anthony Michael Hall, is what it was, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never heard of Grinder until
Well,
tonight.
You're
liar.
such a liar.
He's still trying to play that off.
Yeah, he is still trying to play
I'm
that off.
telling you,
Alright, so-
honestly.
so
Because
it's
he's
the
got
first
3
time I've ever
profiles.
seen
That I
it.
can't understand.
Is it like a Facebook thing?
Mhm.
I
Oh, shut
no,
up.
it's a
Just
dating
stop. Just
app.
stop. Shut up his mic.
So I think the
I am
question.
honest to God, I've never heard of Grinder.
So I think the $1 million question is how do we bridge the gap for our youth to know how to work hard enough, right?
I think, honestly, the story
they
I
need to
told
suffer.
earlier, I think
They
mine are getting
need,
it.
they
You know
need to
what?
experience the suffer index,
Yeah,
whatever
so-
that you refer
I
to.
love that.
So,
It-
Sean, you didn't get a chance to talk about your
Oh,
kid's
good.
situation. Go.
Yeah.
Is there
Go.
a suffer index there or no?
With the dryer?
Do they?
No. Your kids' jobs and stuff. We talked about our kids' jobs and.
Oh,
what-
my
what's your-
kids are
what-
ongoing. So all my kids are unique. So obviously, so it's my kids they're all working. Oh, God bless. I've got like my oldest one, and
Right.
she works online and she does these. I don't even know what the fuck she does, but she
Avatars, right?
she does avatars. She draws.
That's
She
so
does-
unique.
She draws
So
She's
unique.
pictures.
metaverse. Okay.
She's very good.
Yeah, but
We're all
I mean,
going to buy from her? Okay.
That's
eventually.
so unique.
So she
Austin doesn't want to suffer in
actually sells things through a broker on
Wow.
and they sell what is the store in
NFTs.
the mall. In every mall they have a
Apple.
sexy store. Kids, I used to go to as a kid.
GameStop.
Sexy
Victoria's
store
Secret.
kids. She said
Spencer's.
sexy
They have
store.
Spencer's.
Victoria's
So
Secret.
she sells photos. She sells pictures that she draws. They make T-shirts out of them, and they sell them at Spencer's.
Nice.
So
Like-
that's what
like nationally.
all over wherever they have Spencer's.
Is she international like
And
we
also
are?
keychains.
She should be making money
Wait a
on
minute.
that.
She's
Does
not.
she literally sell seashells by the seashore?
Why? Hold on. Why is she not making money on that? If they're
It's-
making national T-shirt
Because they buy
sales,
for $100 and say now it's ours, and they sell it for $1 million.
1 cent.
Yeah, something like that.
still.
But the thing about it is that she's talented. So we're talking about where are they going to? She's got all these programs. She's been drawing forever. So if you ever, she's got some crazy. I don't know if you've ever seen her stuff.
no. Well,
but-
actually, one time.
If you have seen her stuff, if you look at like a 4K picture of something, and she's probably one of the people that have drawn that, where there's just so intricate, all the little things going
Every
on.
pixel.
Every pixel should go in there and change colors.
Like a zoomed in eyeball.
Yes. Yes, that's
ish.
exactly. Wait. Yes.
So then you have my
That's
boys.
4K.
Let's say my boys, for example,
4K.
Preston and Austin. They're new into college, so they're going to be picking up the part-time jobs. Austin, of course, works here voluntarily, and I basically give him free reign of everything to pay him back to sit here. So basically, he says, "Hey, I want to buy this." I'm like, "Okay, let's do it because you're doing us a favor."
Well, because we're international.
We are international.
We're the Beatles.
We're like
are like the Beatles.
We're literally like the Beatles, and he's just like
Maybe
making
ABBA.
it happen.
Maybe we're like ABBA.
He's
You need
we're like ABBA.
you need a microphone, Austin.
A B. Is it 2 B's or 3 B's?
Oh, did you find it on? Oh, you did not.
Good Lord, who was that?
So, anyways, Austin, he got a job working at the roller rink, and he got
Nice.
one of his first
Dude,
jobs.
he's got a job. You
You
have
know,
a job.
and the thing is that what is
Hell
unique
yeah.
about it is that the jobs that he had is that they love him, and so when he had to quit. So when he quit, they were like devastated. Oh my God, I can't believe we took this much energy into training you, and you reached a certain level of experience, and
Bring
we
him
count
back.
on you,
Bring
and now
him
you're gonna
back.
fucking quit on us,
Bring
you piece
him
of
back.
shit.
well, I do give my kids
but
credit.
he came
No,
back.
No, he didn't go back. But but my point,
What the
my,
fuck?
my
I thought you
point
worked
is,
at
is
the-
that when
the
he
roller
worked
rink.
there, they appreciated the shit out of him because he did his job.
But he doesn't work there anymore.
To the point where he doesn't work there now. He goes there all the time because he's a rollerblader.
Yeah.
He loves rollerblading. He rollerblades. He rollerblades in fucking 2 nights ago at 10 o'clock at night. He's an insane freak
Nice.
in a good positive spin.
I will.
So
I,
now you need to be on YouTube and make some money.
I will say this:
No.
that both my boys have extremely good work ethic. That they
Yes, they
bust
do.
their ass when they. I'm sure. Hopefully, all of them do. But I know my 2 boys, the jobs that they do have extremely good work ethic. Especially Brandon. He busts his ass and he takes pride. Even I'm not gonna say even though it's a waiter's position, but he takes pride and he takes offense when he gets a bad tip or
Yeah.
a review or something like that.
Right.
And he's upset with that. And, because he'll call me. He's like, they had this family and they were terrible, and they were difficult. And they tipped me $2 and I did everything for them. And he admits when he screws up.
Right.
Right. And he's like, yeah, it took him a long time
And
to get him
sometimes they're
this or
just
that.
assholes.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude! In the service industry,
Yeah.
there's no shortage of assholes.
Yeah. And that's what he said. He goes, I did everything. He goes, nothing what I would have done would have mattered
exactly
to
right.
their experience.
They were angry. They have a shitty life or a shitty job, and they're
Right.
taking it out on their server,
Right.
and it sucks. But
Right.
it's the real deal.
Yeah, it is. And Steven, his positions have been a little bit different. But he's always committed. He goes.
Also,
So our producer is going to join the table at the mic, and she's a watchdog. She herds. If you've ever listened, so for our Irish viewers or listeners,
Our Dubliners.
yeah, they hear the dog. I don't think anybody else hears the dog.
It's
but
an Irish setter.
They
No,
hear the
She's
dog.
quiet. She's so quiet.
But she
She's
is a
a bitch.
herder, and whenever she senses that someone's going to leave, especially our producer, she freaks out, and she wants to protect him.
All right, so Austin wants to.
And he's on the mic.
He wants to chat about the roller rink
Come
experience.
on, go.
Do you can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We don't have a
Yes.
spare headset, so I can't hear myself.
Oh, we don't.
Is
There's
it
You
a
have a
splitter
headset
right
right
here.
there, bro.
It's not plugged in.
Oh.
Plug it in.
Splitter right
I
there.
have to.
Don't worry about it. Just move forward.
No, make it happen.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I had to quit the roller rink. I only worked there for like 6 months.
Tell us what happened.
You
No,
should have made
he-
him suffer.
He was all like, no, my dad
Yes.
was my dad was saying the
Perfect
point
example.
where
Perfect example.
he was like, we put in all this hours of training me First of all, so I had an interview Wednesday. I got the application, and I'm there like every weekend, and they know me. I was a regular there, so they already knew me. It's not like they were hiring some stranger already. So it was essentially a really easy job for me to get.
Sure.
And I have go to the interview, AC interview, because and
Because you said Die Hard.
Because
Because
I'm me.
because
and
I'm
I'm
Because
that-
he's
because I'm that
chemist,
good.
physicist.
Because he said Die Hard was a Christmas movie.
Right.
That is
That's what it was.
that is
There
the- that
is
is
not a
nailed
Christmas
it. I
movie.
walked in. I
Was
said,
that one of
"Hi,
the-
my name is Austin Murphy, and Die Hard is in fact a Christmas movie. Thank
Yes.
you."
And
I'll
they
be
were
sure-
like, "You're hired right now."
I worked,
Maximum rate.
I'm not kidding. I worked Friday that week.
Oh,
Yeah.
I worked Friday that week.
Okay, they loved you. What happened?
And-
Tell us what went wrong.
I had 45 minutes of training, not several hours.
right.
I didn't
Some
have
guy-
any training.
Yeah, what kind of training do you need at a roller
Called
rink?
fucker
I
I
rock.
worked at the snack bar.
Yeah, you gotta
and
roll out some
I
popcorn,
know nothing of
some corn
cooking.
dogs.
First of
Feel
all.
up the
Okay,
moms.
but you
Yep.
figured it out.
And
Tell us what went wrong.
oh no, I would rather rollerblade there. Don't work at some
Oh,
place
no.
you like to hang out.
Oh, you love the place.
See,
Well, the
all
thing
right.
is,
You don't
that
wanna work
Austin,
there.
he was challenged because he enjoyed rollerblading there, and they're only open so many days a week, and so they would never schedule him a time where he can go rollerblade. And is that
Yeah.
right?
Oh
like,
my God.
They never not.
Oh no,
schedule
what
me.
a burden. Okay.
Yeah, your hobby, your passion of rollerblading got in the way of the work.
The crowd is turning on you. You're
Okay.
literally dying. You're literally dying in the Roman Colosseum.
You are.
Caesar's going like this.
You're
down.
getting-
Kill him.
It's
We'll
either
take you
it's either I
down.
take 20 minutes
Okay,
and
great.
the tollway to go to
Yeah.
a different roller
Yeah.
rink.
You're getting eaten
Okay.
right now.
That is all that costs more money.
But you
Oh.
get paid. You have a job.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting paid
Yeah.
$9.30 an hour.
Okay.
Compared,
Dead.
compared
Dead.
if I work somewhere else.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
All right, so
But are you working anywhere else?
Not at the moment.
No
no.
leverage.
I'm taking summer
Okay,
classes.
got it.
where do you want to work?
Where's Julius Caesar right
Anyway.
now?
Well, he's taking summer classes, and right now,
Great,
that's the
summer
That's
classes.
the only
Hold on.
reason I allowed it.
Okay,
He
hold
needs
on,
to
time
work at
out,
that
time
bar.
out. In defense of our
Get
young
him into
producer,
that bar.
Which
how
one?
many hours of summer school are you taking?
I'm only taking one class, but yesterday I was at I was
One
at
whole
the
class.
community college for 11 hours.
11, but how much are you actually
What
spending?
the hell? Why?
11.
So,
Why 11 hours?
I was studying
Oh, nice.
the whole time.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. That is
Nice.
good. So, are you planning on getting a job or no? You're going to
Maybe.
focus on school. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with focusing on school.
I mean, I don't think so. The way this teacher's teaching, I'm gonna have to read the book, memorize the book, and get 100 for the class. So, probably not.
Okay. All right. That's all good.
I didn't work when I was in school.
I did not either.
I did not work when I was in school. I worked every summer and every Christmas break.
Amen. That's exactly what I did at a movie theater.
Oh,
I did not work.
That's right. I forgot about your.
That was
your
my original
movie theater
plan,
experience.
Was to work during the summer.
But it was brutal.
Oh, I could just imagine.
Oh,
you
we
and
had
Shelley
people coming
sneaking
in
off in
like,
the corner. Hi,
like
Paul. My
attacking.
boss.
No, they had people coming in attacking
Paul,
the
I
staff.
have some extra popcorn.
You have
I-
telephone poles you
Oh,
have to carry around?
well, they were. I had to bring in telephone
Paul, you want to
poles,
share my corn dog?
and I had to attack it stopped people from attacking other people, and I had to take them down to the ground.
It's crazy. These corn dogs are so small. See how far I could
We
put this
didn't
in my
have corn
mouth.
dogs. That would have been amazing. Which, by the way, that would have been amazing. We had normal hot dogs.
Oh, so
Imagine
they're
if
normal.
someone
and
walked in the
popcorn.
movie
We
theater
had popcorn too.
with the corn dog and was just plopped on the floor, and then people stepped on it and it was stuck in that
What?
movie theater
That's your
carpet.
dad, by the way.
God.
No, nobody has. They don't have corn dogs.
I
at
know,
movie
I'm
theaters.
saying
Go on and
what
make that
if.
noise.
I know they don't have corn dogs at the
No,
movie
you
theater.
guys make fun of
It's
me working at a
theoretical.
movie theater. You want to know what was what
I
Did you
worked at
serve
a movie theater.
Did you
Time
serve Fletcher's?
Okay.
hazard pay? You want to hear hazard pay? So summertime, everybody's like the line to get into the theater is freaking out the door. All sorts of pressure, and they're like, we're just waiting for people
Yeah.
to leave the theater. Hold on.
Sandra D wants to suck your dick, and you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Just wait. So we're crowded outside.
And then you meet your wife.
We're getting
And
ready.
they're
We're
sneaking
getting
into
ready
the
to
side
We're
doors, and
getting
Paul's
ready
there
to clean
going,
the theater.
"No, you guys got to go back."
Shut up. We're getting ready to clean the theater. People are lined up out and we got to turn this theater around. We got to get in there, clean it, kill it. right? I run in there. We're all running up and down the aisles, getting all the popcorn bags, getting all the candy boxes, all this kind of stuff. And then there's that cup, the little cup,
The dip cup.
Full of pee.
of
it's a
sperm.
dip cup,
Oh.
and I'm grabbing,
Oh,
2-3 fingers into the dip cup
why would you do that?
because it's dark and
Oh.
we got to get this shit clean quick.
Why don't you turn the
No.
lights on?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
matter.
Not good.
And why would
Doesn't
you grab?
matter.
Why would you grab a cup like that first of all?
I-
Doesn't matter
agree.
because you're cleaning. You got to get going.
It's a form.
I don't
And
know.
so I put 2 fingers into the fucking dip cup and I'm lifting it up going,
That's rule number one.
yeah, I'm done.
I
I'm
think
done.
I think the suffer quotient on this is about a 2.
No, it's
Right.
it's a 11.5 out of 10.
Out of okay.
Have you put your fingers in a dip cup?
Okay.
I put it on
No,
a
you haven't.
I mean,
I had-
cleaning the roller rink.
You haven't.
tar.
No, doesn't
Mine
matter.
is Luz.
Dip cup.
Tar.
I've had to clean
Dip cup.
some
Taint.
some weird things at the roller rink.
Hold on. Taint.
All right, well,
Hold on. That was a different job.
Where we going?
We haven't talked about this job, the taint.
Wait a minute.
We don't have any
What?
direction right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
where's our
All right.
producer?
I don't
Sean,
know.
where,
I don't know.
What the
we
hell
need-
is
we
he
need to
doing?
Recenter.
All right, here, give me the headphones. Get back over
Yeah,
there.
get the hell out of here.
That was a good partake.
It was.
No, thank you
Very
seriously
nice.
for
Thank
the
you for the
input.
young.
That was good.
Thank you
young
for the,
people.
for the young
So
perspective.
dudes like us, we have kids and they work, and it's
do.
important that we recognize that. But at the same time, it's important that we recognize, dude, seriously, it's important that we recognize that they are not as in tune with what's normal,
You
with
know.
reality.
I think
And
it's the
they're
reality as well.
spoiled in the Frisco bubble.
Correct. It's the Frisco, and I tease my boys with it, especially my oldest, because his standards are at a level where I know when I was in college, I wasn't anywhere close to what his standards
So,
are right
Austin, let me pose this question. I know you don't have a microphone over there, but I'm just going to ask it in general. Austin, are you hearing me? So if you had to work that job, and let's just say they were forcing you had to work like 50 hours a week, can you imagine doing that? How miserable would you be? I mean, it would be miserable, right? It's not a matter of hard, but it's boring. With a brain like yours, it'd be really boring. So
Very
you'd be wanting to
boring.
like do extra stuff and move on and start managing and do. I mean, you're not going to be stuck there behind the snack bar. At least most people shouldn't. You know, you want to start. But my point is that's the suffer. Is it the
Well,
suffer factor?
now.
Suffer factor.
I have a question for Randy. I know your daughter has not started a job, but it's kind of like a real job. How is she adapting to an 8 to 5 everyday job?
Well, so she's an outlier because she's a killer. I mean, when she was 5 years old, I was driving her to get dinner, and she was at a Montessori school, pre-K,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm going to go get dinner. And she said, well, I've got some homework to do. And I said, well, we'll do it in the morning. And she cried hysterically. Like, I have to get it done tonight.
Right.
And I said, okay. So if you transform that when she's 14 and we're like, hey, we're going to Sunday brunch. You want to go? She's like, no, I got to study. So that's a hardwired thing.
Yeah.
That's different.
That's an anomaly.
And that's why who she is.
She's brilliant.
She's brilliant, and she's graduating in 3 years from A&M, and she's got a job, and it's so inner drive and intrinsic and extrinsic is different for everybody. It's not a you're better than worse.
Well, I'm not
That
asking.
she's just different.
I'm just asking is how is she accepting the daily grind, I guess.
I mean, she's a soldier. That's the
Right.
problem. I keep asking her. I'm waiting for it to kick her ass.
Right.
And I'm like, how you doing? She's like, I'm fine. But
Right.
that's how she is. Like,
Right.
probably what Jeff would
Right.
do. I'm like, yep, I'm good. Because she doesn't want to ever tell me,
Right.
show
oh,
weakness.
it's kicking my ass.
Right.
And
Right.
by the way, she only has to go into the office like 2 days a week. I'm like, pussy.
I know.
Right.
And
Right.
we've actually
But I'm like, fine.
What?
Fine.
and we've actually
So
talked
she works
about
from
that
home.
some days.
Well, no. But the other day, she has to drive from Frisco to downtown Dallas, log in, and do
Oh,
everything.
the
Yeah. Oh,
humanity.
shit.
Yeah, because we've
What's
talked
wrong?
about that at
Oh,
dinner.
wow. Yeah.
Where I asked her, and it's like her first week, and it's tiring.
Yeah.
It's just a
Oh,
physical
she's getting
thing.
her ass kicked.
It's
yeah.
just a physical thing, and we talked, and she said that she would prefer to work remote. I'm like, as would we all,
Right.
but it's not
Oh, drink it.
really the reality. Maybe it's a version of reality these days, but
Right.
it's not. You cannot count on working from home in a job after college.
But,
No.
but in today's world, you
can.
could.
You
Yeah.
almost can.
You could.
Right.
That's what I mean. But you
So
can't.
my oldest works for a cybersecurity company. He works his ass off when he has something to do, but if he doesn't, he plays video games during the day.
I like that.
And then
That's
he's
what you
given,
do.
and then he's given something, and then I have
But-
nothing. I have
but-
nothing to do. Video games.
But
It's crazy.
to earn that privilege, if your kid can score a 1480 and get straight grades, then you can. If your kid's gonna fuck off all the time, no, you don't get that privilege.
Correct.
So the slave trade is
We
the
can hear
same. Listen.
Yeah. Why are you screaming at us?
Sorry.
I'm
music.
I'm
Yeah.
scared right now.
Here's my theory. You either work hard early, to work less later, or you work less early to work hard later. That's it. That's
Agreed.
it, right?
We gotta fix
Man,
that.
we gotta. We're all over the place. I enjoy the hell out of all of it. It's a dudes like us moment, and this is great. We're enjoying time. This is Randy visiting with us, and he did the full thing, and we enjoyed some great bourbon. We're a little happy, slap happy, and
I think we had some really good
What do you mean?
discussions. I think we had
Well,
some really
chill.
good discussions tonight.
yeah, they were
First
very
half or
good
second
it was
half.
good.
and very important. Hey, look, it's
And
dudes like
yes.
us. We got to get going because the song is about to end.
I am focused on the energy developments that we solved. Wait, everybody left. Okay. It's just you and me, Jeff. What do you think? And this is
Are you watching the producer?
this is Dudes Like Us, and I'm Paul,
I'm Sean.
I'm Jeff.
and we have a guest star.
Randy.
Randy.
There we go.
Definitely this season did.
All right, we will catch you guys at the
Let's go to
end
Burton's.
of June.
It's gonna be a while. All right, we'll see you soon. Have a good night.
Good night.